logs, rocks, water and jumps. Endurocross is one of the toughest motorsports on the planet, and Red Bull Rocks and Logs is a perfect example of this carnage on two wheels, held in Calgary, Canada each year. Here in the Commentators booth, we have the Ultra Series Dallas Shannon from Traction eRag and trick rider extraordinaire Tim Coleman.
Well, Barry, thanks for the introduction. I spent time on the course, I walked it, it freaked me out. Some of that shit was waist high, it had walls that I don't think I could climb, descents and drops and shit that I'm not comfortable with at all. And overall it just blew my freaking mind. So I can't believe there was 264 riders there that signed up to embarrass themselves in front of thousands of people. The cool thing about it, most of those riders, they're from northwestern Canada and United States. And when you think about that, I think it's because they ride the Rockies, so they're used to this extreme terrain, descents, climbs, tons of Pacific Coast logs. So their riding terrain shapes their mentality and their skill set. So I think they're really well prepared to race something like rocks and logs. So after looking at the course, walking the course, seeing this shit, I can't imagine as an intermediate rider, it would be embarrassing for me to friggin' even attempt to ride around this course, let alone doing it with a bunch of people watching me. So I don't know, Tim, what do you think? Like, is this possible or not?
Well, you're right, Dallas. It definitely looks like a challenging course, but I think the riders really feel pressured under these conditions. It's race mode, everybody's feeling tense, the heart rate's up, but really they have to relax and just think about their riding style. Just go out there and just pretend there's no one out there, because it's different when there's a crowd watching you. You got pressure, you got media watching you, but I believe if you just focus on your line selection, you can really make this happen. Definitely on this course, you need that trials background will definitely help you get across these obstacles with safer technique and using less energy.
So I don't believe that I could make it one lap around this thing, and you're telling me that if, with some trial skills, I might make a lap.
100%, yeah, you could definitely get around this lap with a few trials techniques. You don't need to know everything, but a few basic techniques, you'll be fine.
All I see is a bunch of rocks and logs and a bunch of terror and injuries. How can you break that down? How does trials techniques possibly work on this course?
You're thinking about this all wrong, Dallas. You just picture this one big pile of logs and rocks. You think it's an absolute nightmare, but realistically, you got to just hit this with techniques. You got to think about what technique. You want to hit it with splatters, the jab zap. You want to punch these logs. You want to float her over these rocks.
What the hell is a splatter? I don't understand anything you just said. I have no idea what a splatter blap is.
Seriously, you don't understand the jab zap, the splatter, the punch?
I don't know any of those words. I have no idea.
Seriously, you have to take up trials riding, because this is where you really learn all these techniques.
I think because I would consider myself an intermediate rider who knows nothing about riding, that is a completely foreign language to me.
Well, honestly, like, learning all these techniques, this is going to save you so much time and energy. So I think it's time you have to start learning this to make it a bit easier.
Well, thank you, Dallas and Tim, for that illuminating discussion. Folks, all I can say is I think endurocross is a wonderful new form of motorsport. For years we've seen motocross dominating, but now we're seeing this trials influence come through endurocross and extreme enduro. For me, all I can say is motorsports overall is the winner.
What the hell is a blubble zip? Let's splatter that, baby. Zappa flapper.
Zappa flapper. Zappa blubber.
Slappa bappa.
Zappa blippa lappa.
The scrotum rotor.
Scrotum rotor.